So, hi everyone, and welcome to our topic, which is all about the fundamentals of networking. So, first, let's have the introduction to networking fundamentals. So, when we talk about the word protocols, so technically it has something to do with the rules and standards that define how data is transmitted and received over a network. So, actually, we have three examples here, which is number one, which is the transmission control protocol or the internet protocol. So normally, when you want to do data transmission, to networks, let's say from one computer to different computer, whether wired or cabled or wireless, it underwent this TCP or IP. But in terms of the HTTP or Hypertext Transfer Protocol, normally it is being used for web browsing, whenever we want to go to a web page, etc. And if we Okay, and in terms of the file transfer protocol, it's basically focused on the uploading and downloading of files, whether to the server or from the server or even from other networks. So the role of the protocol is to ensure smooth communication between devices by standardizing data transmission. So let's now have the network components. So ano bang binubuo ng mga network? So first are the devices. Of course, we have the routers, syempre yung switches, no? We have the hubs, the modems, and more, no? And their functions are interconnected with each other. So they have interconnections. And also we have the infrastructure, which are, of course, which are LAN, no? Or local area network. Then we also have the wide area network and the internet as a global network. So later we're going to talk more about it. So there are types of topologies actually. So the first one is the what we call topology, or the central node connecting other devices individually. So dito class is normally ginagamit tong star topology in a corporate office wherein meron tinatawag tayong central hub or server, kung saan itong central hub or server na to is connected sa mga iba't ibang departments, whether yan ay engineering, whether ay finance, marketing, HR. So itong central hub or server na to are connected to this department. And normally, each department, has devices such as computers, printers, which is linked to the central hub. The next one is the mesh topology, which is where devices are interconnected in a complex or redundant manner. So for to illustrate, let's say your business needs is something related to a critical system, which require high redundancy and fault tolerance, like the banks, yan, mga financial institutions or data centers, like mga logistics, so therefore, itong mesh topology, ay kung saan yung mga devices are connected, to each other device in the network, so creating multiple redundant paths for data to travel. So mas mas critical to, mas complex to, compare sa star topology. Okay? And of course, we have the bus topology, which is a device is linked in a linear fashion along a single cable. So as you can see, ito normally ginagamit tong bus topology in a smaller setups, pwedeng sa isang small computer shop or even small office settings, where all devices are connected to a single backbone cable of the body text. Then let's talk about the what we call cloud computing and business benefits. So ano nga ba ang cloud computing, So cloud computing is basically the delivery of computing services, like yung mga servers imbis na hardware, yung mga storage, databases, networks, software and analytics, over the internet or cloud, imbes na may mga hardware for the servers, for the storage, lahat ito ay nasa cloud na, for to offer faster innovation, and it is more flexible, and in terms of economies of scale, mas nakaka-lower talaga ng cost, kasi syempre you're not maintaining any hardware anymore. So let's have the business utilizing cloud computing. So imagine, no, there's a small e-commerce company that sells handmade crafts online, no? So first is let's have the website hosting and infrastructure. So dito is yun nga yung company website and online store are hosted on a cloud server. Okay? So meron siyang website, meron din siyang online store na provided by a cloud service provider, which is the Amazon Web Service, the Google Cloud Platform, and of course, we have the Microsoft Azure. And then, no, we have this what we call scalable. Now, from the keyword scalable, we could able to scale up, no, or palakihin pa, no, yung ating capacity, for example, no. So, during peak shopping, no, seasons like holidays, no, kasi siyempre, maraming gagamit marami pupunta sa online store or din sa website, no. So, therefore, the company can experience surge in website traffic. So, with this, no, syempre, yung cloud computing allows business to easily scale up, no? Kasi unlike pag traditional, magdadagdag ka ng hardware which will be more costly, no? So, of course, no, once you scale up, no, magkakaroon ng computing power, mas tataas yun, mas bibilis, then storage, and the bandwidth, no? Mas bibilis siya, and on demand to handle increased traffic without any physical infrastructure changes. Then, of course, in terms of data storage and analytics, no, the company stores customer data, purchase history, and inventory details are in the cloud, no. That's the good thing na dahil nga wala siya sa hardware, no, kung hindi yan mabavirus or hindi masisira, dahil nasa cloud yan, ay hindi yan mawawala. So, cloud-based database and analytic tools help in managing and analyzing this data, na providing insights into customer preferences and inventory management. So for an illustration, represent data being stored securely in the cloud with analytic tools extracting meaningful insights. So dahil nga nasa cloud siya, no, it will be easily stored and it will also be easily retrieved, and the data can be used for analytics or analysis. Then of course, in terms of remote work and collaboration, no, syempre, no, employees can work remotely. So they could able to, of course, no, work at home and also at the same time access company data and applications securely. So cloud-based collaboration tools like Workspace, the Microsoft 365 enable real-time collaboration on documents, spreadsheet, and presentation. So dahil nga dito sa, yun nga, no, sa remote work, no, and collaboration, so pag may mga need na projects, no, they could able to collaborate na, yun nga, real time na pag may binago ko sa isang document, makikita din ng isang tao, no, on real time. And of course, in terms of cost efficiency and maintenance, no, definitely ang cloud computing ay napakaganda kasi it eliminate the need for managed physical servers, no. Kailangan nasa malamig na aircon yan, tapos mini-maintain yan ng isang IT, no. So, yun, it reduce maintenance costs. And of course, we have this what we call pay-as-you-go pricing models, which offers by cloud providers help the company save costs by paying only for the resources used. Kumbaga, 'di ba, pag bumili ka ng hardware, may capacity siya, syempre you're going to pay for that. For this one, there are some, pricing models wherein it is pay as you go, kung ano lang yung magagamit mo na storage, no, or resources, that is going to be the payment that you're going to pay. And of course, in terms of security consideration in cloud environments, so syempre, no, may mga challenges yan, like for example, yung data breaches, kung saan pwedeng may mga unauthorized access, no, lalo na sa mga sensitive information. Then of course, we have also this what we call identity and access management, kung saan possible na may mga challenges to sa pagmamanage ng user identities at syempre sa pag-control ng mga resources. Also, in terms of compliance issues, no, possible na hindi nakakamit ng regulatory standards and minsan hindi na i-ensure yung data protection, no. So dapat is yun nga, no, once na gumamit ka ng cloud is ma-meet pa rin niya yung regulatory standards, no, with regards to reporting, etc. And at the same time yung data protection rather. So in terms of mitigation strategies for cloud security, the first one is data encryption. kung saan when we say the word encryption, no, gumagamit ng user key para mabuksan tong data na to. Okay? So these are encrypted both in transit and at the rest for the heightened security. And then we have what we call access control, which is implementing strict access controls and multi-factor authentication for enhanced protection. So dito is mas tinataasan yung pagiging strict nung access, no. For example, you have an access to a certain data na kung hindi ka naman under this department, no, let's say you're not part of the finance department, then you will not be allowed to see, no, the payables, the receivables of the company. And of course, we have the regular monitoring and auditing kung saan, of course, there should be continuous monitoring. So, dapat nag-utilize tayo ng monitoring tools to detect and respond to potential threats. At pag nakita na natin threats na yun, like the virus rather, then we could able to have a solution for that. And of course, dapat may regular audit, no, para makita natin na ano ba yung mga possible vulnerabilities and gaps. Kasi yung mga hackers, for example, nag-e-evolve sila or yung mga virus nag-e-evolve. So we have to also do regular audits to identify possible vulnerabilities, no, yung possible na kahinaan ng ating sistema.